ॐ जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Om. May Brahman protect us both. May Brahman bestow upon us both the fruit of knowledge. May we both obtain the energy to acquire knowledge. May what we both study reveal the truth. May we cherish no ill will toward each other. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. We are studying the Brahma Upanishad, which is dedicated entirely to Brahma Vidya, knowledge of Brahman. Where is this blessed Brahman? Brahman is the self in human body. Brahman states, sage Pipalada in this text, indeed is the prana, indeed is the mind, indeed is the indriyas, indeed is the body, indeed is the whole universe. Brahman is everything. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So, what does a person gain? By having the knowledge of Brahman, he becomes Brahman. That is stated here. Ya evam veda sa param brahma dhama kshetram upaiti. He who understands that there doesn't exist anything else excepting Brahman. Whoever knows all this, what does he gain? He attains to the transcendent Brahman, that is Parabrahma, the underlying support, the subjective principle. So, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad supports it. No other knower there is excepting that one. There is no other knower, there is no other hearer, there is no other student, no other guru, no other subject, no other object. Everything is that Brahman alone. This is the highest teaching of not only Brahma Upanishad, of every Upanishad. With this statement, Ya evam veda sa param brahma dhama kshetram upaiti, the first chapter of the Brahma Upanishad is over. Now we are entering into the second chapter. Second chapter, the idea is the same Brahman, but as a manifest Brahman. How does he manifest? As this entire world, and especially in every living creature, prani, called Jivatma, especially in a human body, human mind. This human body is called the greatest kshetra because God realization is possible only in a human body. Durlabham trayame vaitat devanugraha hetukam manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha samshaya. We hear stories in the Puranas, and even Ramana Maharshi confirms it. Sri Ramakrishna confirms it. For example, there was a dog which somehow adopted Sri Ramakrishna, and it used to move whenever Sri Ramakrishna moves, wherever he moves, it follows him. And when Sri Ramakrishna goes to the temple of the Divine Mother, the dog accompanies. And it is more than intelligent enough not to climb the steps, but to await the return of Sri Ramakrishna. And dogs are highly intelligent. Horses are intelligent. I think every animal is intelligent, only we do not acknowledge it. And then when Sri Ramakrishna used to come down, it used to accompany him. And then it will never receive any food from anybody's hands excepting Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna had named it as captain. And then we don't know what happened in the end, but Sri Ramakrishna often used to say, he is a Devata, cursed. And what a curse it is. What a blessing it is. He became the most favorite of Sri Ramakrishna, and whoever comes into contact with an avatara will be a liberated soul very soon. So there were so many other stories. A lavatory cleaner called Rashik, and a buffoon who played a very funny part in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, Pratap Chandra Hajra, and so many other things. So it is not impossible either for Devas or for the lower other than human births, but it is that much difficult, not very easy. But even as a human being, so what we call a Shudra, a Kshatriya, the Vaishya, not a Jati, but through gunas, those who are endowed with terrible Tamoguna and Rajoguna, very difficult. But there must come a time, they must realize God. So this human body and mind is nothing but the manifestation of Brahman only. And having manifested, how does Brahman, how does he move about? How does he experience? So he divided life into 3 states of experience: the waking, the dream, as well as the deep sleep state, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. This we have elaborately studied in the Mandukya Upanishad along with the Karikas of Gaudapada. But this Brahma Upanishad is condensing them in the most succinct manner in this second Dhyaya, which is second chapter, which is nothing but a beautiful analysis of the 4 states, and we get a few more details also. Then all the gods that we see, including Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, and every loka, everything is that Parabrahma. Then there is a description of both deep sleep as well as the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. When there is the experience of deep sleep, then only Ekameva Dvitiyam, only one without a second. But at the same time, even in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi also, one without a second. What is the difference between these two? Deep sleep is limited by time, space and causation, whereas Nirvikalpa Samadhi, absolutely there is no limitation at all. And any person who enters into Sushupti, he can have a reflected Nirvikalpa Samadhi to give a glimpse. This is what you are going to experience, with the caveat that it is not only uninterrupted bliss, Anandamaya Kosha, but with the caveat that we are not aware completely that I am in the state of bliss like that, and it comes to an end because the seed of both the waking as well as the dream, they are there already, only they are not manifest. Like a baby Einstein. Einstein is already present. And by the way, every baby is not going to become an Einstein. But that particular baby has come with a lot of beautiful seeds, seed of physics, knowledge of physics, and he became one of the most world's revered rishis. If he were there in India, he would be called a rishi. By definition, a rishi is a discoverer of truth. Mantra. Mantra means here Satyadrashta. But it could be maths, it could be astrology, it could be physics or chemistry, and it could be any subject. But the truth about that subject is only the absolute truth manifesting in this form. So, all these great discoverers, they will be named as rishis. For example, like Aryabhatta, India had produced some of the greatest mathematicians in the world, even to the nearest accuracy, which these Western scientists had found out only just recently, thousands of years back. Our rishis had found out, they measured the distance between the moon and the earth, between the sun and the earth, etc. And Vedic mathematics, with the simplest formulas, stand unchallenged, unparalleled, even today. I don't know the subject. Of course, don't even ask Sri Ramakrishna. He was one of the worst in mathematics students. But the point is, knowledge, one who has knowledge is called a rishi. And not only that, a rishi doesn't become a rishi just by having knowledge. But a person who uses that knowledge to spreading that knowledge unselfishly for the benefit of the entire world, such a person is a rishi. So, what are we talking about? That everybody is a potentially divine person. Everybody is a rishi. Even a person who has discovered one beautiful dish, how to make it so tasty, and it is healthy, it is tasty, and this person spreads it, publishes it, so that anybody can follow the same steps and obtain the same result. And that is what mostly the scientists are doing. So, such a person will be called a rishi. So, in this second chapter, so condensedly, without going into so much elaboration, that everything is Brahman, whatever we experience through the five sense organs, through the mind, through the dream, through even the sushupti, and at the same time, a beautiful description of both the sushupti as well as the highest realization. So we can take it in both ways, interpret it in both ways, when no duality ever exists. But where is that Brahman? That Brahman is there in the space called Chidakasha. Herein it is called Hridi Akashe, Tad Vijnanam Akasham, Tad Sushiram Akasham, Tad Vedyam, Isminidam, and as an Antaryami, Ishvaraha Sarvabhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. And that Paramatma, who is controlling everything in this world, not only the individual but the whole universe, he is there, and he is Sarvam Otam Protam. He is the warp, he is the woof, he is the Panchabhutas, he is everything. Sambhibho Prajaha Gnairan. So this is the knowledge ultimately through sadhana a person will get. And then what happens? If any person who realizes who he is, that is, who am I, Sarvavit iti, such a person is named as Sarvavit, all-knower, all-knowing. Echoing, if you remember, Mundaka Upanishad, where everything is, by knowing one thing, can we know everything? And then the teacher tells, undoubtedly, by knowing Brahman, because Brahman is Sarvam, Yad Bhutam, Yad Bhavishyam, everything, Bhuta, Vartamana, Bhavishya, everything is Brahman only, nothing but Brahman. By knowing Brahman, a person becomes everything. There is a beautiful statement in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, first chapter, 4th section, 10th mantra, where Shankaracharya goes into ecstasis and he goes on telling, so the pure consciousness is knowing everything, but it cannot be known and nobody can make it absent. It will be always there. That Mahabhashya on that particular subject about this Brahman, who is to be found in the Hridhi Akasha. That is what Sri Ramakrishna uses peculiar words, beautiful words. Where shall I meditate, sir? Some devotee asks. And then Sri Ramakrishna, but why? The heart is a marvelous place. So you can meditate because he is always available there. In this is just the essence of what we are going to study. And that is what, first I will read out the mantra itself. Is quite a big mantra, not very, very big, but quite big. So you will have to have some patience. Don't become impatient. Otherwise you will become an impatient. So the second chapter goes like this in this Brahma Upanishad. Atha asya purushasya chatvari sthanani bhavanti. Nabhihi hridayam kantham murtha iti. Tatra chatushpadam brahma vibhati. Jahau jagaritam swapnam sushuptam turiyam iti. Jagarite brahma swapne vishnuhu sushupte rudraha turiyam paramaksharam. Sa adityascha vishnuscha ishwarascha sa purushaha sa pranaha sa jivaha sa agnihi sa ishwarascha jagratesham madhye yat param brahma vibhati. Swayam amanaskaha ashrotraha apanipadah jyotihi na tatra loka na loka veda na veda deva na deva yajna na yajna mata na mata pita na pita snusha na snusha chandalo na chandalaha paulkaso na paulkasaha shramano na shramanaha pashavo na pashavaha tapaso na tapasaha. We will come to this beautiful expression as well as meanings. Iti ekam eva param brahma vibhati. Iti ekam eva param brahma vibhati. Hridhi akashe tad vijnanam. Akasham tat sushiram akasham tad vedyam hridyakasham. Yasmin idam sancharati vicharati. Yasmin idam sarvam otam protam. Samvibhoho praja gnayeran. Na tatra deva rishayah pitaraha ishate. Pratibuddhaha sarva with iti. If you are having a little bit of basic Sanskrit knowledge, then it is very easy. We can enjoy these words themselves are so meaningful, so marvelous. Now we will go into a little bit of details. Since some of you are attending, perhaps most of you are attending Mandukya Karika Upanishad and other Upanishads also, because the theme is not so far removed. Only thing is Mandukya Karika specializes in the analysis of the three states to make us aware whatever we experience is different from us. This is a very important Vedantic principle. Whatever we experience is not us. Supposing I happen to see a tree, I know instinctively I am not the tree. I see another person, I know I am not that person. So whatever I see, whatever I hear, taste, touch, smell, etc., Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, is not me. Similarly, extend this analogy. Since I am experiencing waking state, I am not the waker. Since I experience the dream state, I am not the dreamer. And since I experience the deep sleep state, I am not the sleeper. I am quite distinct. Avasthatraya vilakshana sakshi. I am the only sakshi. And this is what he wants to say. So in Sanskrit, we use a word called sutra vakya. That is to say, very briefly state, this is what I am going to explain to you in greater detail. So that is called a sutra statement. That is, this is the knowledge you are going to get. So here I am going to give you the knowledge of the 4 states. And as we said, really there are not 4 states. 3 are the states. One who is undergoing these 3 states itself, identifying by turn as the waker, dreamer and sleeper. And as I just now we have seen, whatever I experience is not me. So with this small, whenever the topic changes, subject changes, I will give a brief description of it and then we can enter into it. Ata asya purushasya. So purushasya is purusha. Purusha means actually jivatma. But jivatma is not a bound soul actually. Though we are saying it, we are saying it is the mind which is saying. In deep sleep, we don't say, I am a mukta purusha, I am a baddha purusha, I am a bound soul, I am also a free soul, or I am having happiness, I am not having unhappiness, etc., etc. We don't say that. So, asya purushasya, purusha, jiva, is none other than Paramatma. But so long as the Paramatma identifies itself, and by the way it is called Chidabhasa. Abhasa means reflection. Chidabhasa, reflection. So that is called Jivatma. Here we have to understand, this is the description of the true nature of the Jiva, which is nothing but Atma or Paramatma or Brahma. Atha, now, Atha means now, we are going to expound. Asya Purushasya, this Purusha, whom we all know as the Jivatma, he goes through 4 types of experiences. Chatvari sthanani bhavanti. Sthana means a state of experience. 4 states of experience. 1 state of experience is continuous. 3 states of experiences are changing experiences. Nabhi, hridayam, kantham, murtha, iti. So this just gives, identifies a particular place in our human body with each state of experience. The navel, the heart, the throat, and the head. So, Nabhi, Hridayam, Kantham, Murtha. These are called 4 places. What do you mean? What is it meant by? Navel means waking state because it is the grossest state. Higher than that is the heart. Those who have studied Sri Ramakrishna's description or Tantric scriptures description of the 7 chakras. What is a chakra? A state of consciousness is called chakra. A state of consciousness. When we are completely aware of the body, mind, and also the consciousness, that is called the waking state, Jagrat Sthana. And at that time, this Upanishad is telling our heart is more or less centered in the navel. And then when it rises a little higher, a little more enlightened, a little more subtle, that is called the heart. This is the description of the dream state, the heart. And then when this getting rid of this duality. So the higher the state, the lesser will be the duality. Say, for example, in the waking state, so long as we are in the waking state, we know that we are separate from everything else. I am me and everything else is everything else. So much of fine certitude that I am separate from everything else. But the moment I enter into the dream state, and then when I wake up, I try to analyze that dream state and say, remember, the duality has become less. So I quarreled with my neighbor in my dream. Then I wake up and laugh at myself. I and my neighbor are not different at all. So somebody, even extended this example. So I got married in my dream. And then I have a wife. So this is me, this is my wife. But when we wake up, then we say, I myself am me, I myself was my wife also, everything. But when we come to the waking state, so long as we are in the waking state, we never think, no husband will say, I am you and you are me. So this is the Dvaita. That Dvaita becomes diluted in the dream state. And it becomes completely submerged in the deep sleep state. And that is called the state of the throat. Sri Ramakrishna's graphic description of when the Kula Kundalini passes through all the states and reaches the Kantadesha, Agnya Chakra, not Kantadesha, the forehead, Agnya Chakra. Then he says that there is only a thin glass separating me from complete oneness. But everything has become submerged in the knowledge of the divine light. So the higher the state, the lesser the duality. And the lesser the duality, the more is a person both moral and happier also. So this is what happens. The state of consciousness reaches the throat. And then what is the meaning of head? Head means that fourth state, Turiya state, which sustains. Do we experience Turiya state? I have to be very careful about this Vedantic language. So whatever we experience, that is not me. But when there is a period in between two thoughts, there is a period in between two states, and that period, I don't say I am experiencing, I should say, if it is understandable in a human way, I am myself. Other times, I am somebody with relationship to others. I am the husband, I am the son, I am the colleague, I am a sportsman, etc., etc. But in that, in between two thoughts and in between two states, there is a period of time when I become completely me only. So we do not prefer to call it as an experience, because experience normally, as we understand, is a combination of the experiencer, the object of experience, and the instrument, and the resultant knowledge. And it is very difficult to get rid of this idea. So all this is totally different from being myself. But we have no word to describe. So we say, so God is realized, God is experienced, I know who I am, but that knowledge who I am is totally different. So these are the four places, not that it is absolute truth, it is only a graphic description for the sake of easier understanding, because there is consciousness cannot be in a particular, it is all pervading, it is everywhere, but it is felt mostly at these places. So then he says, Asya Purusha. Who is this Purusha? That is this central being or entity, and that Purusha is called Atma, is called Prana, who projects the web of sense functions and intellectual relations, and who proceeds like the leech from one state of consciousness to another. Where from suddenly this word leech comes? If you remember yesterday's class, Karkatakaha, that is the leech. So it moves slowly from one place to another place. This is a very isolated analogy given. Often the spider is given as an example, but not the leech. And then Chatvari Sthanani Bhavanti. So there are the 4 states, the well known. So I am not going to repeat too much. The waking, the dream, and waking becomes subtler, it becomes a dream, and dream becomes even the subtlest, that becomes the deep sleep, and the waking and dream both are merged in it, but retain their seed form. That is why it is called Karana Sharira. And then it is limited by time, space, causation. So it is not in our control. So it wakes us up. And again, whole life, until we become free, mukta, this process continues. So these are the 4 places, 4 states. But what are we known as? In the waking state, Jagrata Avastha, we are called Vishwa, Waker. In the dream state, we are called Taijasa, or the dreamer. And in the sleeping state, we are that is called Sushupti, we are called Prajna. But the being, the consciousness, which puts on, identifies with body mind, that is called the state Vishwa, identifies only with the what is called subtle body or mind as well as causal body, that is called Taijasa, and the consciousness which identifies only with the Sushupti state, Karana Sharira, causal body, is called Prajna. And each state has 2 aspects, individual aspect as well as universal aspect. I am just reminding you what we studied in the Mandukya. So Vishwa and Virat, Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha, Prajna and Ishvara. But the pure consciousness is ever the pure consciousness. It has nothing to do, it has no attachment, but it is all a thought, our thought, each one of our thought about the pure consciousness. That is the Chatvari Sthanani. Tatra Chatushpadam Brahma Vibhati. And this Brahman, supreme reality, Vibhati, it shines, it sports, it assumes, it manifests. Tatra means in our life, Chatushpadam. Chatuhu means 4, Padam means states of experience. It remains itself like a person. He moves into one room, then he is in room number A, experiencer of room number A. Then he moves room number A and enters into room number B or 2, and he identifies with that. Then he moves into room number 3, identifies with that. But the person is not changing, but his experiences are changing. Experiences are changeable, but the experiencer is not changeable. That is what we have to understand. Just the same Brahma. But as I said, when there are no thoughts, when we are leaving one state and entering into another state, in between there is as if there is no state of experience, but there is, and that is what we call Turiya Avastha. But it is not a state actually, because Brahman cannot have any state. He is stateless. But for us ignorant people, this would be easier to understand. So what are these states called? Jagaritam, Jagratavastha, Swapnam, Swapnavastha, Sushuptam, so Sushupti Avastha, deep sleep state, Turiyam. We have discussed about it, so we will go further. And then these four states have been given, identified with, very interestingly, we rarely come across this idea, that is with one deity. You know, in our Puranas, we have got this, even in Vedas also, they are not called Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So, Brahma is inevitably associated with Sattva Guna and creating creative power. He is not having creative power. Brahma is the power. Brahma is not having a power. Like Einstein has got a knowledge of physics. But when he is sleeping, he doesn't have that knowledge of the physics. When he is dead, he might lose it. We don't know. But if any problem is there, say amnesia or unconsciousness, then that person will not have it. So, not like that. Pure consciousness can never be anything other than pure consciousness. So, in the Jagrata Avastha, all creations take place. So, he is called Brahma. What is the job of the Brahma? Creation. And what do we become? Brahmas. When do we become Brahmas? In the waking state. We come across, we gather all the raw materials, and then we close our eyes. You see, and this is, for me, is a very interesting statement. How do we become Brahmas in the waking state? For example, you are walking and you see a beautiful house. And then that experience provokes in you, it's a beautiful house, how I wish I can have it. And depending upon the circumstances, I have enough money and enough capacity to create such a house. I can buy it or I can construct it, and then you become a Brahma. Now you have become Brahma, creator, creating that house. So who created that house? You created. Who enters into the house? You enter into the house. Who lives in that house? You remain in that house. And you also have the power to sell it, to destroy it, to remodel it, to do whatever you like. Now with this analogy, we are all Brahmas. Creation takes place. And what takes place in the dream state? The recombination. That is, you can become very creative. Not merely a house. What type of house? How many rooms? And how big or small the rooms will be? And what type of rooms they are? As I mentioned, my funny experience in USA. So I was given a room in a devotee's house, which is having almost a dim light. Nothing else is there. But when I enter into the toilet, 10,000 watt bulbs are burning. I was shocked. I don't require any much light in the toilet. It is in the living room that But these creative people, some creative people, what are you going to do? All your decorations will take place only in the toilet. Forgetting, toilet also is the place where you wash up everything. So, we become in dream state what we call combinations of what already exists. So, what is the job of Brahma? Creation. Then, what is the job of the maintainer, sustainer? He is called Vishnu. So, he has to keep an eye, and he has to rule, and he has to reward, he has to punish. He sees that whatever is created is kept going on very well without much chaos or problem. And for that, that is why Brahma doesn't require any weapons. But Vishnu requires a lot of weapons. There is Gada, and there is Chakra, and there is even Shankha is there. So many things are there. Why? Because he has to maintain. So that is what happens, that Brahma is the Jagrat Sthana, creation. Swapne Vishnuhu. So all sorts of ideas. What can I do with this fellow? He insulted me. I want to do something. I have an ambition. I want to get what I want. Power, position, or anything. What shall I do? So maintaining the whole body-mind complex in this complex world until we completely give up the body. We are all Vishnus. We are maintaining from birth to death. What happens is maintenance only. But birth is because of Brahma, and maintenance is the duty of the Vishnu. Then we become Vishnus. Who was the Brahma? Myself. How did I create my body and mind and this world, the circumstances, the families, the parents, etc. through my Purva Janma Karma. And then a time must come. There is a limited purpose. This instrument is not going to last long. And the dissolution, the time of giving up this and to seek another body which is capable of housing this mind, which is gathering so many experiences. And that is the job of what is called Rudra or Shiva. And here it is called Sushupte Rudraha. And of course, the fourth state is Turiyam. What do? You don't do anything. Just be as you are. Turiyam, Paramaksharam, that supreme indestructible reality, Paramatma, called Brahman, is equated to Turiyam. How wonderful this description is. We are the Brahmas. When we study some Puranas, Brahma creates is a god sitting somewhere in Brahmaloka, another god sitting in Vishnaloka, another god sitting in Kailasa. So I wonder what happens in Kailasa, because frozen, so much cold. So when Shiva lovingly takes you there, and then you will be frozen to death. That is called Layasthana. Of course, again Brahma, and after that, after freezing you, and then Shiva releases you into the hands of Brahma, is just pure imagination, that's all. But we are the creators. So Jagrat Sthana is equated with Brahma, who is the presiding deity of waking state, Brahma. Who is the presiding deity of dream? Vishnu. Who is the presiding state called Sushupti Layasthana? Rudra. What is what is called definition of this word Rudra? Rodayati iti Rudraha. He who makes you weep. And we are not merely talking about deep sleep state, because the deep sleep state is equivalent to state of death, because you don't do anything. You are not permitted to do anything. Similarly, when this body is about to be dropped, when everybody weeps, probably you also weep, I also weep. That is why it is the state of Rudra, Rodayati. He who makes us weep, others weep, he is called Rudra. Of course, this Turiyam, Paramaksharam, the very meaning of the word Ksharam, that which decays, that which deviates from its position, that which changes, in other words. But Akshara means that which never changes. That changelessness is possible only when one goes beyond all duality, and it is the supreme reality, supreme indestructible reality, that is called Turiyam. And this Paramaksharam is another way of describing what is called Brahman, Paramatma. Turiyam Paramaksharam. And this is the fourth state. And that is the goal of everybody, because we already are experiencing Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, but we are also experiencing albeit unconsciously, and that state has to be consciously sought after, and we have to slowly transform. Both Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti, they are marvelous instruments. So what happens? We have to learn the art, the technique of merging this Jagrat into Swapna, Swapna into Sushupti, and then Sushupti into, because slowly you gather everything and then merge it in the supreme reality, which is called Akshara. Once we reach that one, then there is no more suffering or limitation by time, space or causation. So this is called Turiyam Paramaksharam. That is the Tad Vishnoho Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Diviva Chakshuratatam. This is called Tad Vishnoho Paramam Padam. It is also called Parandhama, which we have seen at the end of this first chapter in this Brahma Upanishad itself. So who is this Turiya? That is our goal. That is called attainment to that, attaining, becoming one with that Brahman. That is called Mukti. And that is the purpose of this very Upanishad called Brahma Vidya. So here a beautiful further description is given. Saha, that Brahma, not Brahma. Remember, Brahma is what is called Sopadika Brahma. That is the creator. With name, with form, with function, etc., from whom this whole universe is manifesting. No, what we are talking is that same one. And why is this description being given? Because this is our day-to-day experience. So, for example, let me read first. Saha Adityascha, Vishnuscha, Ishwarascha, Purushaha, Pranaha, Jivaha, Agnihi, Seshwarascha, Jagrat Tesham Madhye, Yat Param Brahma Vibhati. He, that means the Parabrahma, is the Sun, is the Vishnu, is the Ishvara, is the Purusha, he is the Prana, he is the Jiva, he is the every animate being, he is the fire, and he is the resplendent. Yeah, that Brahman, which is transcendent, shines within all this. So why is this descriptions being given? Because you look at the sun, and for most people, excepting for a few Hindus, what is the sun? It is a burning star. It is nothing but burning gas. But what a power this gas has got. So this here particularly is marked by the physicists, by the scientists, that extraordinary sun flare they are called. Tremendous power is being thrown out in the form of huge flares, and it reaches the earth in no time. And they say if it is big enough, then it can wipe out all the stored information, your cassettes, your CDs, and your what is called SDs, SSDs, and your USBs, and all the storage material that you have on which we are so much relying. In a flash of a second, they become completely empty. Of course, there are extraordinary representatives of this Aditya. They are called hackers. They also empty your phones, your homes, your bank balance, your everything there. And where from they are getting that power? This Aditya only. So, we see the sun, that is none other than manifestation of Brahman. So, Surya Rupena Brahma. That is why he is called Surya Narayana. Then Chandra. Chandra is also a Devata. He is so adorable. Shiva himself is keeping him on his head. So some funny, somewhere I have read it, that these Vishnu Bhaktas, they want to explain why Shiva is having the moon. See, first of all, who is called Rudra. The Vedic Rudra Devata has metamorphosed himself into the modern Shiva. And what is his function? Laya. Laya means destruction, ferocious. So that is why this Tandava Nritya, Shiva Tandava Nritya, unbearable, it is ferocious. So why does he do all these things? After all, his name is Shiva. Because that is his nature, destroyer. He is the destruction, embodiment of destruction. Very hot. So how to cool him down? How to make his head a little bit cool? So the Vishnu Bhakta said, Baba, please go and live in Kailasa. And he started okay. And then he found out that madness is increased only slightly, but not much. All right. Then we will, so you remove all your clothes, probably it will keep your head cooler. So he is not having anything else at all. And that is also not working properly. So they brought some snakes, which are the coldest animals, crawlies on earth. So you put all over your body, perhaps it will work. That was also not working. Then what did they do? They put this moon. Moon is called Sitamshu. Means makes everything frozen. So he put permanently on his head so that he will be cooled. It doesn't work. So they went to Vishnu. And Vishnu asked, what can I do? You please send the coldest water that you can from your feet. Let it fall continuously Abhishekam. Maybe that will cool him a little bit. And at last it worked. The gimmick worked. And then he became so cool. He became so happy. And then he said, I will give liberation to everybody who dies in Varanasi. So continuous Rudrabhisheka has to be done. Anyway, I am just enjoying a little bit of fun at the cost of this one. So you look at the sun, you must remind yourself it is Brahman. Look at Vishnu, any image, any thought, he is Vishnu. Look at the moon, he is Vishnu. Look at the mountain, he is Vishnu. Look at Ishvara. Ishvara means this world is going on wonderfully well. How is this world going on? Is there any purpose, any person with a rod sitting there to make this like the president of a country or prime minister of a country or a dictator of a country? Yes, but he is not visible. But what does he do? Whether it is a dictator or president or prime minister, so they modify they implement certain laws, LAWS. You have to behave like this. So you have to drive on this side of the road only. So like that, you go on making a lot of rules, and then to keep those laws, there must be law enforcement agencies should be there. So that is what you see, the whole Adhishtatru Devatas. Not only they make the laws which can function as a smooth continuation of our life on earth. Every prani's life. There is a beautiful balance. Slowly the scientists are recognizing that there is a marvelous harmony in the world. Left to nature, everything will be all right. It may look cruel. Some wolves are hunting and eating deer. But as the American scientists had found out at great cost, do not poke your fingers in the laws of nature, because nature is tremendously intelligent. Whenever something goes out of balance, nature knows how to balance it. Whether it is earthquakes, whether it is wars, whether it is famines, droughts, these are all nature's way of balancing things. unable to understand it, we lament, we go on saying, if there is a God, he should have been saving us from these earthquakes, etc., etc. Some Quaker will be there. Either the dictator here, dictator there, it doesn't really matter. But nature is highly intelligent. It is self-regulating and left to itself. If we only cooperate with it, our life will be just like heaven on earth. But we do everything excepting destroying everything. And it is like cutting down the branch on which we are sitting. And this is what we are reaping now. So all these descriptions are meant. Whenever we experience any of these, that means we are experiencing none other than Brahman. So Ishvaraha, and then you see in every living creature something that is manifesting. Even a mosquito is a manifester. And then there is prana. I am able to speak because of prana. You are able to hear because of prana. The whole, your car goes because of prana. Only we don't call it prana, we call it petrol. That's all. So jivaha, every living creature you see is Brahman only. So agnihi, wherever you see heating element, fire, that is manifestation of Brahman. Sa Ishvarascha Jagrat Tesham Madhye. So this Ishvara, Tesham Madhye, that is manifesting resplendently in all these manifestations. But who is this? Yat Param Brahma Vibhati is none other than Param Brahma. In simple words, whatever you see, it exists because of Brahman, it is because of Brahman, and it gives, contributes in some way for our life, in our life, that is also none other than Brahman. So, yato va imani bhutani jayante, from here every being is originating, yena jatani jivanti, by whom? Because of the space, because of the air, because of the fire, because of the water, because of the earth, we are able to sustain. And yat prayanti avisham vishanti iti. In the end, when the element of the bodies goes, it goes to all the Panchabhutas only. Nothing is wasted here. So he means Brahman. Again, he is manifesting in the, that's how we have to understand the sun, the Vishnu, the Ishvara, the Purusha, Prana, the Jiva, the animate being, the fire, Ishvara, and anything that is resplendent in the form of light or in the form of intelligence. Yeah, that Brahman, which is transcendent, which is beyond, transcendent means beyond mind as well as speech and action, shines within all this. What is the essence of all this? Whatever we experience is none other than Brahman. And we experience waking, dream, and deep sleep. That is also nothing but Brahman. Everything is Brahman. This is the highest knowledge we can get, and we will discuss further details in our next class. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Saritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. May Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and Swami Vivekananda bless us all with bhakti. Jai Ramakrishna.